Hey Star Warriors, Star Geek here, to answer Anakin Skywalker's question. No, not that Anakin Skywalker, but one of my subscribers. He asked me in my Q&A update video, in your best to worst Star Wars films video, you said you like Episode 1 more than 2. And last time I checked, most fans think Episode 1 is the weakest of the saga. So why do you prefer Phantom Menace over Attack of the Clones? I felt like this was a much bigger topic than I could cover in one Q&A video, so I'm going to give it its very own episode. Right off the bat, when I uploaded my best to worst Star Wars episodes video, I got comments flooding in arguing with me about placing the Phantom Menace over Attack of the Clones. I personally am a much bigger original trilogy fan over the prequel trilogy, but I love the whole saga. So why would I like the dreaded Episode 1 over Episode 2? Fans were thrilled for the first prequel when it came out in 1999, but it became a huge disappointment. The biggest spark that lit this outrage? A little Gungan by the name of Jar Jar Binks. While Jar Jar wasn't the only flaw in TPM, he is definitely the character that caused the most dispute. His backwards way of speaking, his fumbling, his terrible comedic relief, his odd appearance, and his stepping in Bantha Poodoo.
Jar Jar is a key to all this. If we get Jar Jar working, because he's a funnier character than we've ever had in any of the movies before.
Well, I honestly don't have that much of a problem with him. It may be because when I first saw him I was only 5, but I usually just tune him out. So with Jar Jar not bothering me, what's left? Jake Lloyd as Anakin wasn't the best choice.
Are you an angel? Yippee! It's working! It's working!
I enjoyed it when I saw it when I was younger, and that's who it's for. It's for children. For me to go back and watch it now, I just think would be a little creepy.
And due to poor writing, Natalie Portman as Queen Amidala ended up being a bit dull.
I will not condone a course of action.
But
Yeah, you were terrific. And, I'm hoping I can really cut through this scene. She's great. Natalie is fantastic.
And Ian,
It all came together. She was perfect, I only had to do 2 takes. She really had it down.
otherwise, the acting of Ian McDiarmid, Ewan McGregor, and Liam Neeson was spectacular. Fast lightsaber battles, a fun and memorable plot, and some of the best scenery of the saga are all huge features that earn Episode 1 a spot above Episode 2. While Episode 2 is still a good movie, it has many bad qualities that took away from the magic of Star Wars. First of all, George throws this guy into the beginning, even making him smile at you as if to say, yeah, I'm back, and you can't do anything about it. There are also far too many subplots, confusing relationships, and the worst love story of all time. There may be some very cool battles, villains, and droids, but there are far more flaws than redeeming qualities. In the beginning of the film, we start in an elevator with Obi-Wan and Anakin having a fun talk as if they're great friends. Unfortunately, in the next scene, they suddenly turn against each other. And from there it goes downhill with Anakin's creepy stares, Obi-Wan's endless journeys, and Yoda's lightsaber freakout. But the real damage to the film is the love story between Padme and Anakin. While the scenery is perfect and the landscape is beautiful, the dialogue destroys everything about these scenes. The one clip iconic for its terrible dialogue would be the sand scene.
We used to lie out on the sand and let the sun dry us, and try to guess the names of the birds singing.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth.
But the love story isn't the only flaw. An action-packed assassination plot is brought into the film, which does bring some fun like cameos from 3PO and Jar Jar, and some good jokes, but is otherwise pretty pointless. The main idea was to introduce Jango Fett, and while tons of people loved Jango, he was only put in there to pay homage to most of the fans' favorite character, Boba Fett, who George absolutely butchered in Episode 2. The kid who played Boba in Attack of the Clones is named Daniel Logan. Per George's request, Daniel watched the original Star Wars films before taking the spotlight of Boba Fett in Episode 2. You heard me. Out of all of the child actors in the world, George chose the only one who hadn't seen Star Wars yet. And Boba isn't even Jango's son. He's a random clone that Jango picked out. The whole Jango Fett being the father of every clone is ridiculous. Look at all the stormtroopers. They are all different heights and all have different voices. So the idea of clones in Order 66 is debunked. Yoda is later stuck practically flying around Count Dooku, which Phantom Menace has a bit of too with the Jedi's super speed. Other than that, I think both films were very well made, and clearly a lot of work has been put into them. I think people give these two films a much harder time than they deserve. Sure, there are some mistakes, but every movie has its flaws, and comparing these films to the original trilogy just amplifies those features. Even with Jar Jar Binks, Jake Lloyd, Daniel Logan, and the worst love story ever created, how couldn't you enjoy these films? But to answer Anakin Skywalker's question, beautiful landscape, a fun storyline, and fewer flaws is what makes me enjoy Episode 1 over Episode 2. Everyone has their own opinion. In fact, most prequel fans that I ask say that they enjoyed Episode 2 the best out of all the films in the saga. But that just shows how different the tastes of the fans of the franchise can be. No matter how hated a Star Wars film is, I will always enjoy it. So that's why I enjoy Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace over Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. Subscribe to Star Geek for weekly Star Wars content. If you agree with my claims, please shoot that like button at light speed. You can go check out my Facebook page linked in the description below, as it really helps me out when you like my page. If you go over to the page, you will get daily news on Star Wars Episode 7, Star Geek episodes, memes, and even the prequels. Also go and check out my new Twitter account, @StarGeekYT, for tons of quick updates. Try clicking on the screen to subscribe, and click on the link to the left for my last video, where I ask you to ask questions for me to answer in a Q&A episode, give you a new channel schedule, introduce my Twitter account, and thank you for over 200 subscribers. You can also click on the right to watch my review of the first episodes of Star Wars Droids, Episode 1, The White Witch. All links are in the description below. Don't forget to like the video and comment about your opinions on Episode 1 and 2 in the comment section. Until we meet again in a galaxy far, far away, this has been Star Geek.